Hot take alert, look out everyone. But in my opinion, gacha games are just a little bit evil. Now, I can already hear some of you asking, but Surgeonor, how could games with characters like this be evil? And to that I say, no! Have you guys actually ever met a woman? Or like spoken to a woman? See, now I know that's a stupid question because I know the answer is no.
A woman? I'm scared.
But still, I need you to hear me out. Look here, see this? This is a woman. This is a normal human female. Wow, so cool. Now here is Margot Robbie, another woman, and one who many deem to be one of the most beautiful women alive. Nice, very cool. Now here are 3 random characters from 3 different gacha games. Notice anything? If not, it's likely the brain rot has already taken over too much and there isn't much hope left. But regardless, I'll try my best to explain here. These are supposed to be just 3 normal-ass women. As a reminder, this is what a normal random woman looks like. Here's a celebrity, and here's a random gacha character. Why is she and nearly every one of these characters built like this? That is a rhetorical question, and the answer is to drain your wallet. Man see curve, man want curve, curve costs money, money go bye-bye. That is the most complex thought process in the mind of a gacha game addict. Hey, quick reminder that I'm trying to hit 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and with your help, I know we can get there. So please don't forget to like and subscribe if you find that you enjoy the video. Thanks. Joking aside a bit, the over-sexualization of characters in gacha games is genuinely kind of insane. Now, I made a video about over-sexualization in anime a couple years ago, but the reasons as to why it exists in anime doesn't really carry over in this case. There is no deeper explanation as to why this is how all gacha game characters look. The literal only reason is to try and persuade gooners like you to buy the skin for the character. Actually, it's normally not even as simple as buying a single skin, but we'll get into that later. Now, attractive skins or characters in a game isn't even really the issue here. Other games have that, and I don't really care at all. People are just drawn to more attractive characters. That's human nature. Let's be honest here, Stellar Blade wouldn't be as popular as it is if Eve wasn't built like this, and instead was built like, I don't know, Shrek. Although, actually, now that I say that. The same goes for Overwatch. The character designs in that game was one of the biggest reasons that game exploded, and if we're being real, it's the main reason people still care about it at all nowadays. What gets weird with gacha games in particular, though, is when the same design philosophy for a character like this is applied to a character that is very clearly meant to be a literal child. Why in God's name is there an alternative skin for this character where you can see up her skirt?
Well, Surgeonor, Japan has different cultural norms from us, and
shut the fuck up. There is no excuse for this. Not to mention, most of these games aren't made in Japan, they're made in China. The main point here is that good-looking characters in gacha games isn't the main issue, it's a symptom of a much larger one. And again, because I know someone's gonna complain about it, I don't care that games have attractive or good-looking characters. Feel free to enjoy these designs any way you want, I don't care. It's how gacha games use these skins that bother me. Now, there's more than one kind of predatory behavior that gacha games suffer from, and the main and biggest one is monetization. Every issue a gacha game has can be traced back to the publisher trying to make money. Obviously, the company behind any product wants to make money, and the video game industry has no shortage of greedy, money-hungry companies trying to make as much money as they can. But there's no companies and no games that are more in-your-face about it than gacha games. The tactics and ploys used by gacha games are numerous, to say the least. I already discussed how they hypersexualize the characters to keep their fans, let's just say engaged with the content. But there are many more, far sneakier methods that these companies try and succeed in using. So, let's start with some of the least egregious and work our way up. Starting off, we've got the tried and true in-game currency. There is no better way of tricking someone into thinking they aren't really spending that much on something than by making the in-game spending as confusing as possible. In-game currency is not uniquely a gacha game problem. In fact, pretty much everything I'm talking about here isn't a gacha game exclusive issue. It's just, again, way worse in these kinds of games. It's a lot easier to mask the fact that you've gotten a player to spend thousands of dollars on in-game goon doubloons when they feel like they aren't actually spending money. What's worse is that the in-game money you're purchasing isn't even useful. Gacha games take an already shady in-game currency system and then don't even treat it as in-game money. They're more so like tokens or casino chips that supposedly hold a certain value. Most purchases that can be made in these games are in the form of character packs. In almost every gacha game, aside from a few starting characters, the rest are locked behind in-game packs that you have to buy with the in-game currency. And this is basically where all of the money comes from in gacha games. When you choose to buy the special Summer Edition Big Titty Goth Mommy pack in Fate Grand Order, you're taking a gamble. 95% of the time when buying these packs, you will either end up getting repeat characters you already own or a bunch of other useless ones. That one character or skin you really want is still only around a 5% chance of actually being unlocked, despite the fact that you paid just so you can try again and again and again until you finally get it. Your $247 JPEG you could have just Googled. Character skins in Siege, for example, may be stupidly overpriced, and the game may also use in-game currency, but at least you can actually outright buy what you want. This is, again, where the sexualization of the characters comes into play. Owning a default strong character is great and all, but wouldn't you prefer if the same character could be seen dressed like this? Gacha games know that most of their audience is horny men, and they know they can exploit this. Getting these people to spend absurd amounts of money over the span of years with new variations of the same character in a slightly different pose or slightly fewer clothes every time.
It sickens me.
Even when not looking at these games from a sexual exploitation perspective, the games themselves are super grindy, typically having a fast few first couple acts at most, and then slamming to a complete halt. In-game cooldowns for progression are designed to encourage even more spending by buying items to speed up wait times. Again, not a gacha game exclusive issue, but definitely at its worst here. More slowdown comes with character power creep. The longer these games have been out, the more characters are added, and the worse older characters become. This, yet again, leads to players buying packs in order to get the newer, stronger characters, because if they don't, the game becomes even grindier and even slower to get through. And considering these games are designed to essentially be slot machines with boobs, keeping players' dopamine levels high is top priority if the developers want to keep their wallets filled. The time-based mechanics go beyond that though, as not only are the legendary characters and skins in these packs absurdly hard to get even after playing, but most of the time, these special event packs are limited time, maybe only being around for at most a week at a time. Your average non-paying player might get the chance to open one pack through regular progression, meaning actually getting anything meaningful, and I use that word very loosely, from that pack is basically nothing. So it yet again encourages the players to buy as many packs as they can to make sure that they get all the different swimsuit variations, or I don't know, the Christmas variations of the same characters they already own. So, considering gacha games are so absurdly lucrative, with Azur Lane having made over $1 billion and Genshin Impact around the $5 billion revenue mark, why is it that outside of the occasional mechanic in a game here and there, have Western game companies not implemented more of these features? You could argue that the audience is too difficult and cultural differences might play a part, and that is true, but the main reason is, more than anything else, far stricter gambling restrictions in the West. When loot boxes similar to gacha game character packs started showing up in games around 2016 with stuff like Overwatch, Battlefront 2, COD World War II, and more, it didn't take long before people got really mad. Genuinely, these stupid-ass in-game boxes caused way more drama than you'd expect nowadays. It also didn't take long before legal action was taken against some of the companies that had implemented these features. Not everyone was called out for it, and it wasn't until maybe a couple years ago that nearly everyone had dropped the idea, moving toward a more Fortnite shop approach, using in-game currency to sell one skin for a high cost. Is this system better than loot boxes? Yeah, I'd say so, but not by much given the prices. The fact of the matter is, the overwhelming success of gacha games, especially Genshin Impact lately, has shown a lot of different companies what they can and can't get away with when it comes to exploiting the player. At the end of the day, gacha games are the most lazy, formulaic, greedy, and deviant games you can find. The sad thing is, they aren't going anywhere, and they will continue to hurt a lot of people financially and mentally for a long time to come. Until next time, I'm Sir Surgeonor, and I really hope you enjoyed. Peace!